Lifesteal is an SMP with 5 extensive seasons of twists, turns, and betrayal. However, nobody seems to fully get the gist of the lore, so I'm here to explain it all. Here's Lifesteal SMP oversimplified. Let's go. In July of 2021, JPEX and Mapek created the Lifesteal SMP. The idea was suggested by Parrot2, where if you kill a player, you gain a heart, but if you die, you lose a heart. And he would be the main person making content in the server in Season 1. The two primary teams in Season 1 were the Jolly Ranchers and the Sour Patch Nation. Multiple battles would spark between the nations, including some betrayals. However, in the first big war of the server, Mapek would get caught using admin commands. He did this to get a competitive advantage during the battle, which would make the Sour Patch Nation mad as they just lost an entire war to the hands of a cheater. Out of anger, the Sour Patch Nation would find an exploit in the Lifesteal plugin, which allowed them to get infinite hearts by continuously killing the same player over and over again. Since there wasn't a heart cap in Season 1, they would get an outrageous amount of hearts, and would run back into the battle in an attempt to get one of the members of the Jolly Ranchers to admin abuse. When the fight ended, Mapek would vanish, seemingly from an Ender Pearl stasis chamber, but under some investigation, they found out that there was no way he could have used an Ender Pearl stasis chamber, since during the fight, he left the game and the Ender Pearl would have despawned. When preparing for the final battle, Parrot would get trapped by the other team. However, fortunately, he was able to make a swift escape. The Jolly Ranchers would also reset all their hearts back to 10 to make it more even for both teams. Ultimately, the Sour Patch Nation would end up winning the final battle, and the owners would end the server. Season 2 was never meant to happen, but Parrot saw potential in the idea and became the owner of the server. Pretty much the entire goal of every player throughout the season was to kill Clownpierce. Clownpierce would become the strongest member in Season 2 and be practically unkillable. This would spark many of the members of the server to attempt to trap him using various different methods. This season again would be divided into two primary teams, the MLB led by Clownpierce and the Poggies Nation led by Parrot and Spoke. Members of the Poggies Nation would attempt to use a floor of TNT to kill Clownpierce. However, he would escape that one easily. They would also make a void trap by breaking bedrock. However, this trap would kill Prince Zam and Oasis and leave Clown unscathed. Following this, the Poggies Nation would create their most complicated trap yet, a lag machine using cakes. Despite Clown's PC dying when he was in PvP, he was still able to survive the trap. This led the Poggies Nation to no other choice but to try and make a quote-unquote truce with the MLB by executing both of the most powerful players from both teams, Clown and Parrot. Although this again would be a trap by the Poggies Nation and Clownpierce would end up dying. Well, sort of, because he died by his own accord from fall damage in the trap. The final attempt to kill Clownpierce was by Spoke when he spawned over 1,000 withers. However, this again would fail to kill Clownpierce and would leave Clownpierce with 0 deaths to players during the entirety of Season 2 of the SMP, despite him dying once to fall damage. However, in Season 3, this trend would quickly end, and Season 3 would be the craziest season yet. But before we get into it, do be sure to subscribe. I mean, if you're still watching, you have to enjoy the video, and subscribing is free, so please just hit the subscribe button. Season 3 would begin with a couple teams being formed. The Clout team with Clown, Parrot, Spoke, Wreck-Rap2, and Rochambeau, and the Communists consisted of Subs, Terrain, McClutch, Branzy, and Vitality. There were a lot of teams in this season, so here's just a picture of them all. Battles between all these teams consisted during opening day, and also the end fight, where Spoke would be able to get the Dragon Egg. Another battle would happen following this between the Clout team and the Communists, when Parrot was planning a trap to assassinate McClutch. They would also team up with Leowook and Mr. Cube, members of the people of Glandry, to execute the trap, which would turn out to be a bad idea as they would get betrayed, and the trap would fail. Clown would then build a circus to attempt to get revenge on Mr. Cube and Leowook by creating minigames inside, which were also traps. These would actually work, they would be able to get 3 kills using it: Leo, Prince Zam, and Vitality. Then, Prince Zam would declare Spawn to be his property and form a team called the Prince Zam Empire consisting of him and Pangy. Clown didn't like this as his house was claimed, resulting in them fighting. He would ultimately lose the battle and the Prince Zam Empire would burn down Clown's house. Clown knew that he needed to get revenge this time. However, for a while, this conflict would be paused as 3 new teams were formed called the Cleansers, the Dirties, and Team Chaos. The Cleansers wanted to reset everyone's hearts back to 10, but keep their motive a secret. This led to a rebellion team known as the Dirties, consisting of everyone else who opposed. And finally, Team Chaos, an exclusive group of elite lifestealers who wanted to stop the cleansing from succeeding. The battle happened, which resulted in the Cleansers winning, and everyone's hearts were reset back to 10, except for Radoon's. The Prince Zam conflict would resume after people realized he was corrupt, and after the battle, Prince Zam would get executed by Spoke. The server would also descend into chaos as the original Clout team formed a decimation to ban all players. Tubbo would even join the server to try and resolve the conflict and would get stabbed by Clown himself. After many conflicts with him and the rebellion, they made an agreement and the server would end peacefully. However, Season 4 would not be as peaceful. Season 4 would become known as the Season of the Wormhole. It would start off pretty tame, as Parrot and Spoke formed their team per usual, called the No Pants People Party, and there would be battles here and there. Some of these battles included the Season 4 end fight, the speed bridging battle, which allowed Rek to join the No Pants People Party, and the Battle of the Horns. Some members of the server would also create the 48-hour war in an attempt to make the server more active. During this war, if a player dies without a bed, they'll respawn in a prison that Maypick built. This war only lasted around 48 hours, hence the name, and nothing major came from it in the end. The Great Petrification War was a war where Team Awesome, under the alias of Medusa, tried to turn the entirety of Spawn into obsidian, to internalize the server along with the builds. A group tried to prevent the petrification by getting rid of all the obsidian called the Cleanup Crew. This consisted of Prince Zam and Pofa. After this, a certain series of events led to Team Awesome discovering a duplication glitch, involving banning a player and reviving them, allowing infinite possibilities with items. The opposition, which was called the APO, was a marketplace at the time to make profit, but switched goals to saving lifesteal and preventing the spread of duplicated items. This led to Spawn being blown up by Team Awesome and a couple other members with TNT and Withers, with the APO attempting to stop them. However, this failed and Spawn was destroyed. Later on, Pengy crowned himself the king of lifesteal. Pengy was giving 8 hearts and the crown to anyone who kills him. After the fight began, members of the Eclipse Federation, Maypick, and Parrot used texture packs and potions so they knew who was who, but the other team didn't. After a while, Maypick was about to kill Pengy, but Redunes killed him instead. During the fight, Clownpierce ran away with the crown. After Woogie's totem popped twice, he ran away from the fight. The Wormhole was the final war of Lifesteal Season 4, bringing in YouTubers from numerous different SMPs. The Wormhole itself is a glitch in the Minecraft server system that allowed the invaders to join 2 servers at once, allowing for unimaginable things to happen, such as limited item transferring, flying in survival, teleportation, minor command using, and more. Spoke and Ashwag managed to trick Parrot into giving one of the members creative mode, allowing the invaders to transfer completely banned OP items to the server that they owned straight into the Lifesteal SMP. From there, the invaders caused mass panic and mayhem, ultimately leading to the end of Lifesteal Season 4. Season 5 of the server would be the most lackluster one yet. Granted, the server is still coming out. Numerous people would leave during this season, including McClutch, Parrot, who would leave later on, and even RecRap2, who was one of the most popular members. Some of the teams during this season included the Private Murder Company with Clown, Minitech, and Leowook, where they would take hits on anyone for the right price. They would kill numerous people for hearts around the server, no matter the reason for the person asking. There would be an exploitation of minecarts this season with a glitch in the Lifesteal plugin, which insta-kills players. There would also be numerous battles for the Dragon Egg, as many players would either seek it or fight to keep it safe. Parrot would also get married to Ashwag this season, which was interesting. However, in Lifesteal fashion, of course it was a trap. Due to the lack of server activity, Lifesteal decided to add 4 new members: Wembu, Pentar, Squido, and JPEX from Season 1. Wembu proclaimed a $1,000 bounty on himself, which sparked a war of people trying to kill him. Tons of people would die during this battle, and it ended with Wembu dying to a minecart. This led to Wembu getting his revenge by creating a one-shot railgun utilizing TNT and redstone to one-shot over 15 people at a fake birthday party. Meanwhile, a war was rising in Season 5 against 2 teams called the Abyss and the Foundation. The Abyss wanted to try and break all the bedrock under Spawn, and the Foundation wanted to try and stop them from doing that. The Abyss would give the Foundation riddles to solve for a few days, and if the Foundation was able to solve all the clues, the Abyss would stop forever. RecRap would even jump back on the server to help the Foundation solve the riddles. However, unbeknownst to the Abyss, they had a mole on their team, Jumper, who had been spying for the Foundation and helping them out with the riddles. Eventually, the Foundation would end up solving all of them, and the Abyss would admit defeat, and RecRap would say his final goodbye from Lifesteal for good this time. After this, some events occurred which led to the audience being able to vote on a presidential election, and whoever would win would become the god of Lifesteal. 4CVIT became president and elected Captain Sparkles to be god, and his decision to bring peace was to add guns. Eventually, the captain himself would get banned, and his god powers would be transferred to Minitech, resulting in several mechanic changes, and even adding the Aether to the server, and that's where the server is currently at. If you guys enjoyed this video, then do be sure to subscribe, and thanks so much to my manager KZ1 for helping me with this script. Also, check out this video on screen to see all the members who left the Lifesteal SMP. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next one.